Alright guys, we're going to learn how to add another world and use some of the tools in that world. So let's go to New World. We have our fresh new world. We have our home button, our play button, move camera, add Kodu characters, and you have your ground brush, your hills up and down. You have your smoothing ground function, making spiky ground, adding in water, deleting tools, and just overall general settings. So if I want to add more land, what I can do is I can click this paintbrush here, and then you can see here there's some tiles and then some different brushes. So let's click a tile and let's do yellow 9. I'm going to do number 9. And if I click, it's going to start adding in yellow tiles. If I right click, it's going to delete a section of tile. If you click these little yellow buttons here, you can go, or if you click these little buttons, you can go to different things. You can make circles. Likewise, you could make lines. You could draw lines. You can also draw circle lines. Oops. You can draw circle lines. Using the scroll wheel, you can zoom out and zoom in. If you use this button here, you can raise the ground up. Right click will lower it down. And then if you choose the spiky one, you can make some spiky ground. Right clicking does some different spikes. It's a slower spike feature. If you use this one, you can level off what you just did. Kind of make contours in the earth. Back to this brush function. If we use the arrow keys to the left, we make our brush smaller. I'm going to go back to the circle brush. We can make our brush smaller by using the left arrow key. If we use the right arrow key, we can make our brush really big. We can also use right click to delete, get rid of a whole bunch of this. Let's make it smaller. So I'm just using the scroll wheel to move in and out. You can also use the WASD keys to move around. I'm going to show you guys one more feature. I'm going to choose a different color ground, and I'm going to make my brush square, and I'm going to make my brush a little smaller. You can draw a line, and then under the raising feature, there's a cool little tool here. It's called the magic brush. And what that does is it selects whatever color ground you're over that's connected to each other. So I can select this tile of purple, I can select this whole tile of yellow, or I can select this little yellow part, or this purple strip. And if I left click, I'm using the raise function, and it's going to raise just that platform. If I do the right click, it's going to lower. Likewise, if I did left click on the yellow, it'll do that whole yellow section. If I right click, it'll lower that whole section. So what you could do with this is you could make walls. You could just draw your walls on the floor, and then you could raise them up after you get them correct. This same magic brush feature is also in the smoothing function and the spike function. So if you wanted spikes only on the purple, you could do that, or only on the yellow, you could also do that. Okay. Pretty cool, just messing around with stuff. Alright, so that was just some basic terrain stuff. Thank you guys. See you later.